Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's 10 o'clock, the 2nd of December. And yes, we did have a mostly sunny day to start. We had some clouds here and there. This is the long satellite loop. You could see earlier on, though, we were mostly sunny except for some clouds off to the north, unfortunately. I didn't get to the Pine Barrens today, partially because, barely any heat in my apartment again. 61 degrees, that's what it was in here. And it's very hard to get out of bed when it's that cold. And I'm going to have to obviously do some things regarding getting a space heater, and what I'll probably wind up doing is I'm going to tell my agency I'm going to get a space heater, and if they don't want to get a space heater for me, well, I can't even wait for them. I'm going to get a space heater, and if they don't I'm just going to get a space heater, and I'm probably just going to take it out of the rent. That's what I'm going to do. That I pay them because this is unacceptable. Legally, I have to have heat, and this there's a whole bunch of crap going on with where I live. It's just keeps getting worse, and I don't want to talk about it in this video. Obviously, I'm upset about it. But anyway, obviously I could have gotten to the Pine Barrens today, but I didn't. You can see there is some radiational cooling going on in certain areas. South Shore is in the mid 40s, but inland, you'll notice that there is some radiational cooling going on, especially in the Pine Barrens. You see 27 there at West Hampton, and 36 at Islip. On the South Shore, it's warmer, 45, because the wind is up there, and the winds have calmed in the middle of the island, so temperatures have dropped. So 36 degrees at Islip. We'll look at what the day was like at Islip today, and you will see here that temperatures were in the mid-40s today, so close to normal for the day. Fairly clear skies, a few clouds, patchy high clouds it wasn't completely clear, but it was clear enough that I should have been in the Pine Barrens, and I wasn't, unfortunately. 27 degrees in West Hampton in the Pine Barrens. So let's take a look and see what their day was like. And I'm sure they radiated nicely once the temperatures dropped. So the clouds are coming in tonight, so I think it's going to put a lid on the radiational cooling. Highs were in the mid-40s. Let's see if they radiated. Oh, boy, they did. Wow. It got really cold this morning in West Hampton. Upper teens. So it definitely was some radiational cooling there. So let's take a look at our highs and lows for the day, starting with the lows first. And you can see 18 there in West Hampton, mid-20s in a lot of other areas. And that's why I could see it was 23 in Mineola. So we did have a lot of radiational cooling last night. And that's probably why it was just so cold in here. I just could not get going in time to get to the Pine Barrens. Unfortunately, the days are short, so... let's see what it was like in New Jersey with their lows. Also, 17 at Berkeley Township. That site actually right by Double Trouble State Park. So it doesn't surprise me. 20. So the Pine Barrens and a lot of areas were really cold this morning. The city, obviously not. They were in the 30s. But the Real had some pretty good radiational cooling. Let's go to the highs. And you see mid-40s generally across the area, so fairly uniform with the mid-40s, which is close to normal for this time of the year. So we have the storm system coming for tomorrow, and our rain threat. So here is the GFS, and you see there is this obviously very low resolution, but you could see the front coming through. Then we're going to have another high built in for Sunday, and then next week we kind of get into a little bit of an unsettled pattern with a couple of storm systems and some stall fronts. Before some cold air tries to get in here next weekend. But let's go and take a closer look at our area, HRRR, and we will go look at the HRRR model. So here is the rain showers. They're going to start arriving here right after sunrise tomorrow. We're going to have rain showers, periods of rain, and that will end in the early afternoon. So hopefully by 3 o'clock, it should be over for most of Long Island, except maybe the east end. And then the cold front itself, which could bring some showers, scattered showers and thunderstorms, though it'll be fairly scattered in nature. And that's, most of the rain is going to be in the earlier part of the day. So looking at the total rainfall that we have for tomorrow, looking at probably between 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of rain generally across the area. After that moves out, we won't have to deal with the rain for at least a little while. So here's your dew point map, and you'll see the southerly winds do pick up. The clouds are moving in, so I don't think we'll see too much more radiational cooling. Southerly winds pick up, and you see here that dew points rise into the 50s. Here, southwesterly winds, pretty gusty again. And then the front comes through pretty sharply and we're going to see those winds shift pretty quickly off to the northwest, and those dew points drop into the 30s and then 20s for Sunday. Temperatures, you will see temperatures rise up into the 50s tomorrow as well, so those dew points are right up there with the temperatures. And then once the front comes through tomorrow night, and this probably be right around 7 o'clock or so, the temperatures drop quickly into the 40s and into the 30s. So in a couple of hours, we're going to go from the 50s to the 30s. It's going to be a relatively quick drop, and we're going to have dropping probably to around the freezing mark by Sunday morning. And Sunday will be a lot colder with highs only in the probably low 40s. So a lot colder for Sunday. So let's go take a look at our skies. Obviously, tomorrow we'll be dealing with the clouds. So here is tomorrow. You see, we'll be dealing with the clouds. They clear out. Sunday, we should be mostly sunny, though. The RGEM seems to want to develop some cirrus late in the day, or maybe some mid-level clouds just to the north of the area, it looks like. Just to the north, but maybe over Long Island for Sunday. And then Monday, we should be mostly sunny until, again, we're going to be dealing with some cirrus in the afternoon coming in. So let's go take a look at the one of the other models we can use for skies, the FV3. I guess I can use the FV3. Don't really have enough of the 0ZN, but I can use the earlier model. So FV3 also shows that as well. Kind of shows some clouds off to the south too, and then just shows that area of clouds. Though I don't think that's going to be an issue until later in the day. So hopefully, if you get an early enough start, your day should be mostly sunny. NAM, I can look at the NAM as well. Let's see, NAM also shows this area as well. Kind of just going off to the north here across the area. But it looks like, again, we should be mostly sunny till around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then those clouds kind of come in. And then this is what it looks like from Monday. And unfortunately, the pattern we're in, it's hard to get clear skies. You know, today was the best chance, and I didn't take advantage of it because, again, no heat. And, other things. So let's go to the Ventus sky. We're going to look at the wind threat for tomorrow. And looking at the wind gusts here, I'll move this to tomorrow here. It's the Ventus sky, which uses the HRRR model. Here we are at 11 o'clock, and you can see those wind gusts up into the 40s across Long Island, and then they pick up even more, perhaps even into the 50s. So the worst winds may be in the early afternoon to noon hours, it looks like. And they're going to linger around. Here we go, strong wind still. Here we are, 2 o'clock, still dealing with the strong winds, even though the rain is wrapping up. 3 o'clock, still dealing with the strong winds. We have to wait for the cold front to get through to really get rid of this LLJ. Still dealing with it, and you can see the front kind of approaching there from the west. There is the front finally, and that will push that LLJ offshore by the evening, and then we'll just have breezy conditions, but not like the kind of strong damaging winds we could have again. So gusts into the 50s are possible again with this tropical blast, as I like to call it. And if we go to the general wind speeds here, and again, I want to show you the wind speeds above the surface. All right, sustained winds could be in the 20s, but let's now go just a little bit above the ground. Let's go to 500 meters above the ground. All right, this is only 500 meters above the ground, and look at how high these winds are, in the 70s. So again, isolated wind gusts, you know the deal. It's going to be very similar. The difference is the timing of the rain, but everything is going to be very similar to the situation we had a couple of days ago. As far as the winds, I think they're going to be just as strong. And I think we're going to need a wind advisory. I'm surprised they have not issued a wind advisory for us. I don't think they have yet. Not yet, but I think they should. This is the HRRR, and you can see that LLJ over our heads here. All right. Luckily, the axis of the LLJ shifts east later in the afternoon, but earlier on, especially when we get those rain bands coming through, we may see, like I said, just tropical storm-like conditions. And this is only, again, 500 meters up. If I double this to 1,500 meters, it gets even worse. And you'll notice that the wind's shifting with height, too. So there's a little wind shear in there as well that we have. So that's also another concern. If we go to the thunderstorm threat cape, there actually is a little bit of cape there. A little bit with that front. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of cape. Go to Cape Shear. It's the Cape Shear Index. You can see there is some. So, again, chance of a severe thunderstorm, not quite out of the question for tomorrow. And With shear like this, I couldn't even rule out a possibility of an isolated tornado. If you look at wind shear, there's a lot of it. This is the concern that we have. There is a lot of wind shear going on with this front. So we're very concerned about that. Lifted index doesn't look too bad. However, helicity is up there. Again, a lot of helicity in the atmosphere. So there are some parameters for severe weather tomorrow. Although I know the Storm Prediction Center probably isn't mentioning it. If we go to the Storm Prediction Center, they don't have anything forecast. Let's see for tomorrow here. If they've got anything for tomorrow, day 2. They have no severe, but they have a thunderstorm threat. I just wouldn't rule it out. I just wouldn't rule it out with such volatility in the atmosphere that we could see conditions like that. There's also the windy model. So the model we were looking at with the winds was the HRRR. The windy site, which uses the European model, this is the European with the wind. Not quite as bad as the HRRR. However, I think the HRRR might be quicker to react in the short range to certain things. It's got more of a southwesterly component to the wind versus a southerly component. And it doesn't seem to have the amount of wind shear that we... Let's see, we can adjust the height here. If I put this to wind here, we should be able to adjust the height. Let's go a little higher up above the surface here. Oh, there is some pretty strong wind up above the surface. Yeah, 60 miles an hour. A little less wind shear on the European model. But still, it's a very volatile situation. Here we are at 750 meters up. And again, this is just above our heads here in the afternoon. So any shower or thunderstorm could bring down some of these strong damaging wind gusts. But again, it's over by 4 or 5 o'clock. You can see actually this brings it through. Let's see. All right, that's... Yeah, it actually brings... The European actually brings us through just a little quicker. A little quicker. So that's what it looks like with the European for tomorrow. And if we could put the rain thunder here, use this too and see if it's showing any. It's not showing any thunderstorms tomorrow, but I just wouldn't quite rule it out. There's a small chance that we could see something. Now we'll go to the clouds and we'll just look at the clouds for Sunday again, because this is the day we have a question mark. So 9 a.m. you can see it's got some clouds over Long Island. It's the European, so it seems it's developing a lot of clouds. Sunday, 3 o'clock, it's got a lot of clouds over us. So we may not have a clear day on Sunday, unfortunately. Kind of hoping we would, but some of the models are saying not so fast. I can go look at the Ventu sky as well for clouds on your Sunday. Here we are, 6, start off clear. 9, we're still clear. And then you can see some of those clouds spilling in. These could be stratocumulus clouds. 11 o'clock. Here we are. Oh, yeah, really socked in by 1. A lot of clouds over the east end of Long Island there. So, kind of sucks. A little less clouds over New Jersey. But, again, just trying to get some clear weather. Today was really a day that I should have been in the Pine Barrens. Had I been a better, stronger person and not been freezing cold when I got up, maybe I could have been there. I mean, there was some clouds in the sky, but it wasn't completely clear. But, I mean, well, whatever. I need to get there because my mind is all that's going on. I feel like I'm just... All right, let me wrap up this weather update before I mess up anymore. So I guess that'll be it. Again, tomorrow I'm going to really have to watch out for the possibility of those winds again. Because, I mean, looking at these wind gusts here, we'll roll this to tomorrow here. I'm concerned about these wind gusts here that we're seeing. So, again, pretty strong wind gusts up to the 50s. Here we go. Look at that, 55, 56, 58. So, again, mostly Long Island experienced this. So, again, could see some power outages, a couple thousand maybe. So, it's all possible with these winds like this. Especially North Shore, middle of the island. You know the spots. So, hopefully this doesn't verify, but I'm concerned that it will. So, that's going to wrap up this weather update. And again, at least the rain will be ending, so it won't be ruin your evening. But definitely the afternoon, or at least the first half, it's going to be pretty rainy. That's going to be it for this weather update. Have a good night.